Hey guys, today I'm going to show you something very strange called the Makara Pranalaya. Okay guys, so I found something very rare in archaeology. Okay, so I don't know if any of you know what this is. I mean, take a closer look. It looks like a weird animal. These two pieces, they're the same. They're actually pretty old. They're more than 1,200 years old. These are lying here in Indonesia. It's not even India, but these are extremely rare objects that are found intact. Okay? Most of them are broken. If they're working, they would be part of big temples. So there's no way you're going to see the whole thing. Now, this is called a Makara Pranalaya. And this is very rare because the Makara Pranalays are not visible like this in full to any of us. Okay, you will never identify them. But if you see ancient temples, I'll show you how they look when you see them fixed in temples. Okay, so you can see that this is the Makara Pranalay that's still intact in the temple. This is very old. This is the Prambanan temple in Indonesia. The Makara Pranalay is about 1,200 years old. So this temple was built in the 9th century. So this is the 21st century. So that means it's 1,200 years old. But the Makara Pranalay is still intact. Now, just see in this temple tower, in such a small area, you can see 3 Makara Pranalayas in the same line. This is just on one side, on one of the shrines of Prambanan temple. So you can imagine how many Makara Pranalays would have been employed all over the temple complex. Now, if you see here, you can see a strange dragon or crocodile-like animal. This is called Makara in Sanskrit. This animal is called Makara in Sanskrit. And this entire piece is called Makara Pranalaya. So Makara means this animal, but what does Pranalay mean? Pranalaya means a channel. Prana means breath, and alaya sometimes means the home or, the place of the breath, roughly meaning the windpipe of Makara. Now, when you see them as part of temples, you think they're just like maybe small pieces because you can only see them up to here. But here, this is fantastic because you can actually see how big they are, right? They're about 3 feet deep and they're installed inside the temple for more than 2.5 feet. So all ancient temples will have this fixed on various points. Now, what is the purpose of that? When the water comes from the sky, which means when it rains, the rainwater comes and falls on the ceiling of the temple. But what happens to the rain? If it just stagnates in the rain, this is a big problem. So you have to get rid of the water. Otherwise, the temple will become weak. And you can see that it looks like a makara and there's a hole. So if you see inside the hole, that hole is still intact. So when the water comes in, it won't settle on the ceiling. The makara will just spit the water out. So this is the whole idea. So you can still see the hole. And if it rains, you can still see that the water comes out of the Makara Pranala. So you'll only see this part, but whatever rain water that is coming through will be channeled and will be thrown out using the mouth or the pranalaya or the windpipe or whatever. The water will be spit out from the mouth of the makara. Okay? But we're going to test if this Makara Pranalaya, which is an ancient Makara Pranalaya, by the way, this is more than 1,200 years old. And you can see behind me, can you show them the temple? This is a very ancient temple in Indonesia. And these are ruins. These are parts of this temple, and we're going to test if this 1,200-year-old Makara Pranalaya works. So I'm going to pour some water and see if it still works. So let's see if this Makara Pranalaya still works. So I'm going to pour this water here. Let's see if that comes out. So is it working? Yeah, so as you can see, this Makara Pranalaya, the spout or the gargoyles in ancient Hindu temples still work today. And it's a miracle that we found these two full intact pieces, even though this temple is in ruins now. These outlets are indispensable, and if ancient builders had not designed and installed these many spouts in this temple, the temple would have collapsed many centuries ago. They were very clever in making sure that water did not stagnate anywhere on the temple. So these Makara Pranalays were installed around the temple, especially on the sides of the ceiling, and they act as gargoyles or spouts to release the water. But there is something very strange about the Makara Pranalaya. It should be obvious that the Makara Pranalaya is of Hindu origin. And you may think, okay, the Hindus made up this animal in India and they carved them in these discharge outlets in temples of India. And then they started to travel to Southeast Asia around 1000 AD and built a bunch of Hindu temples in Indonesia, Cambodia, Thailand, etc. This seems to be the common narrative even in history books. But look at this artifact found in a museum in China. This is definitely a Makara Pranala, and it was found in the remains of Northern Qi dynasty. See how far that is from India. It appears that ancient Hinduism has influenced much further than we originally thought. But it's not just the distance that's shocking. Chinese archaeologists confirm that this artifact was created around 550 AD. That means it is 1,500 years old. This means that ancient Hindus went to China at a much, much earlier time than just 1,000 years ago. Now, just like the Makara Pranalays, there are many other Pranalays. Makara is just one of the animals, although it is the most popular one. There is Simha Pranala, for example, which means a lion outlet. This is a Simha Pranala in Indonesia. And you can see that the Simha Pranalays are also quite prevalent in Indonesian temples. They look very stylized, making us wonder if these are lions. But here is a Simha Pranala in an Indian temple, and you can see how this one looks. But guess where this Simha Pranala is from? It is found in Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, and this is 600 years old. And you can see how similar artists around the world think. Were they inspired by ancient Hindu temples, or is it just a coincidence? This one is found in Czech Republic, but no, this is not ancient. But the Pranalays in Hindu temples are not always about animals. My favorite one is Bhuta Pranala. Now, what does Bhuta mean? Bhuta means a ghost, and the outlets usually show ghosts spitting out water. Look at this one. See how he's holding his mouth wide open to release the water. This is in a museum in India, but let's recreate this to spit water and see how beautiful this looks. In Europe too, we have these Bhuta Pranalays. These are called gargoyles. This one is actually pretty scary. And here we can see a bunch of these ghosts spitting out water. This is found in Notre Dame in France. And let me recreate this so we can enjoy the beauty of how they would actually work. You've seen a bunch of beasties and ghosties, but the Pranalays are not always scary. Some of them are comical. In Konark Sun Temple, we can see Pranalays like this. This is a Hindu temple in India built about 800 years ago. So you can see how much freedom these sculptors had during ancient times. In Europe, you can find these vomiting statues. Europe gets pretty cold during the winter. So these statues look like they are vomiting. And the sculptors visualized it and understood how they would look during the winter. So they carved them as though they are throwing up. But guess where this is from? This was found in Afghanistan. It is said to be 2,000 years old. So you can see these Pranalays or outlets carved around the world with a variety of themes. But the king of all these Pranalays is the Makara Pranala. And you can find at least 100 of them in the Prambanan temple in Indonesia. I hope you like this video. I am PraveenMohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.